ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवगौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे ॐ नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुर्सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंकुं लङ्कयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. So we have already discussed up to the 24th verse, sorry, 25th verse of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7. So, majorly in the last session, we had discussed about, what is the opinion of Krishna about the worship of Anya Devatas. And after that, we also saw that Krishna does not necessarily, sanction and consider impersonal realization, or thinking that Krishna is an impersonal figure who has suddenly got a personal form. He doesn't consider that idea to be very intelligent. He says that it is for abudaya. For people of low intelligence, they think that I was impersonal and I have took up a personality now. So we saw up to that point. We are left with you know uh, 26 to 30th, till 30th verse. There are five verses that we will discuss today. We will see all these verses of the seventh chapter. They are of great significance and it has a lot of depth inside it as far as understanding Krishna is concerned. See, understanding Krishna is not a very easy thing. That Krishna only says that you cannot see me or understand me. And we also took example of Duryodhana, Shakuni, and Shishupal, Kamsa, all these people in front of whom Krishna was appear. Krishna was there. Krishna was, personally present in front of them without any covering, but still they could not recognize that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we can very least, you know, expect that we will one fine day understand Krishna to the fullest. And this is one of the reasons why Prabhupada would always say this: to understand Krishna is not very easy. Not that it is very easy. You cannot just understand Krishna completely. First of all, you read the entire scriptures and everything. The aim of reading the scriptures, the aim of chanting the holy name and all these things is not to understand Krishna. It is to surrender your life unto Krishna. Some people forget this. you know uh, some people just forget this. This is the most important thing when you get into a spiritual path. This is the most important thing. If he is the supreme personality of Godhead, how do you expect that you with your limited intellect can assimilate everything about him, you can just know about him. It is not possible. Brahmaji in the Brahma Samhita, he offers prayers to Krishna and he says, Premanjanachurita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam shyama sundaram achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. That somebody, you, my dear Lord, you are Achintya gunaswarupam. You are not conceivable to the material mind or intellect. You know, you are not conceivable. It is inconceivable, achintya. But still, who can see you? Only those persons who have, uh, you know, uh, put mascara of, what do you say, prema, love for you, pure love for you, bhakti for you. Those are the only people who can just see you, who can perceive you in their heart. Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam. Your Guna and Swarupa, it is Achintya. It is inconceivable. You can't just conceive Krishna. And even Ramaji says, Advaitam Achyutam Anadir Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayauvanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhakto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He says that Vedeshu Durlabham. You read all the Vedas and understand it, assimilate it. Vedeshu Durlabham. You are not going to get Krishna. Durlabham. मतलब समझते हो ना, दुर्लभ मतलब हिंदी में भी वही होता है ना, विच इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू अटेन. दुर्लभम वेदेशु दुर्लभम, बट अदुर्लभम आत्मभक्तो. But you are not very difficult to be attained by atma bhakto, your pure devotees. So our aim is not to intellectually assimilate data about Krishna and understand Krishna. The certain understanding we need to love somebody, that is we are assimilate, that is what we are assimilating from the Vedic literatures. But our prime object is not to just understand Krishna, but to love Krishna. Just like the Brajvasis simply love Krishna. The Gopis, the Gopas, Yashoda Maya, Nanda Maharaj, all the associates of Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj, everyone, they are simply loving Krishna. They don't care if Krishna is the supreme lord or not. This is the highest level of bhakti. This is the highest level of bhakti, where your love is such that it is totally eclipsing the fact that Krishna is Bhagavan. This is Braja. It is very important to attain Braja. It might be very, easy to get a train ticket or board onto a bus and go to Mathura Vrindavan. But you won't just enter into Braj. Why? Because Braj is a consciousness. Braj is not just a place. Braj is Chintamani Dhama. It is a consciousness that you simply love Krishna for no reason. You are loving Krishna. This is Braj, spontaneous devotional service, and this is categorized to be the highest form of devotional service. Even it is very difficult to go to Golok Vrindavan. You may land up in Vaikuntha, you get mukti and all those things. It is even more difficult to go to Braj. We see in Krishna Leela that Lakshmi Devi is doing penance to get into Vrindavan, right? She is also not getting entry into the Rasa Leela Sthali or in Braj. Why? Because she has the conception of Aishwarya. So we don't really need to completely know who Krishna is, and it is impossible. You will never know him because his glories are ever expanding. You must know that much so that you can love. Why I'm telling this is because we should have a clear perspective when we approach the scriptures. Why do we approach the scriptures? Why do we do chanting? Why do we do service? It is to attain that love for Krishna, attain bhakti, kevala bhakti for Krishna. It is not that we want to become intellectual scholars and all the world, everybody in this world, they would say that, oh my god, that Prabhuji or that Mataji, they are just genius. They know scripture, they know this, they know that, this slow, they quote 1,000 shlokas, and they will prove the fact, they will debate and all these things. No, we don't do that. That is not the reason why we are studying Shastras. We are studying Shastras because we want to love Krishna. And for loving Krishna, because we have no idea, we have only this material experience with us. We have to know things about him. We should have a basic preliminary understanding about Krishna. We are studying Krishna so that we can love Krishna, we can give our heart to him, right? All these scriptures, they are revealing the heart of Krishna, that what is he thinking, what is he doing, what is he made of, what is, you know, like that. So by knowing all these things, we can somehow or other cultivate this love for him, which will take us back to him. That is the reason why we are actually studying the scriptures, we are studying Bhagavad Gita. So here in the 26th verse, now Krishna will only say this, that, you know, who knows him, who can, who really knows him करके, you can see that. वेदाहं समतीतानि वर्तमानानि चार्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन. See, Veda means to know. Okay. So the first word is Veda Aham. So Veda Aham means Veda plus Aham means becomes Vedaham. Okay, it is a Sandhi. So Vedaham. So I know. Krishna is saying that Aham, I, Veda, no. So Veda Aham Samatitani. Samatitani means past. Samatitani means everything that has happened in the past. So Krishna says that I know everything that has happened so far. Vedaham Samatitani. Vartamanani. And I also know whatever is happening in the present, that also I am aware of. Cha means and. Okay, so Vedaham Samatitani Vartamani cha. I know both the things that has happened in the past and also things that are happening right now. Cha Arjuna, oh Arjuna. Okay, Bhavishyani cha. And I also know what? Bhavishya, whatever is going to happen in the future, that also I am aware of. I know that. So you see, Vedaham goes with all these things. Vedaham, Samatitani, Vartamani, Bhavishyani. And cha Bhutani. Bhutani means the living entities. Okay. So what is Krishna saying? I know four things. Samatitani, whatever has happened completely in the past, I know. Second, Vartamanani, whatever is happening right now, I know that. Whatever is happening in the present. Bhavishyani, whatever is going to happen in the future, I know that also. And what and fourth thing that I know is Bhutani, every living entity. Is there anything which is not covered in this particular statement? No. And is there any other personality except for Krishna who can say that I know every living entity? I know the past, present, and future, which means that he knows every living entity. He knows the past, present, and future of every living entity. You see, this is something which is inconceivable to our mind. Somebody can be like this. Correct? There is nobody who is like this. Only Krishna can say this. Why? Because he is residing in the heart of every living entity as Paramatma. He never leaves you alone. So, because of that, the Paramatma is aware of everything. The Paramatma is even aware of the slightest desire, the wave of desire, that is coming inside your mind. Paramatma knows you better than yourself. This is what Krishna is. See? So Krishna is saying that I know everything. I know everyone. I know the past, I know the present, and I know the future, Arjuna. Mam tu veda na kaschana. Tu means but tu mam veda. Veda means to know. Mam means me. So, but na kaschana. There is nobody who knows me. That is what Krishna is saying. Mam tu Veda na kaschana. Kaschana means anybody. So, mam tu Veda na kaschana. There is nobody who knows me. So, Krishna is saying that Vedaham, I know Samatitani, something that has happened in the past. Vartamanani, something that is happening right now. And Bhavishyani, something that is going to happen. And Bhutani, every living entity I know. Mam tu Veda na kaschana, but nobody knows me. See, Krishna is only saying, but nobody knows me. See, oh Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Has Krishna kept any exceptions? Has Krishna told that, some people they know me? No. He says that nobody knows me. Nobody in this material world knows Krishna, and nobody can know Krishna completely. That is what it is. It is very difficult to know Krishna completely. See, this is the difference between something that is of material nature and spiritual nature. So fundamental difference है ये. क्या है कि in the material world everything perishes with time. You know, every relationship gets boring with time. Every person, loses his beauty with time, right? Every person loses memory with time. Everything is lost in this material world. We see that trend, right? Everything is lost in this material world, but in the spiritual world it is exactly opposite. Everything is ever increasing. Nava yauvanam cha, Krishna, Brahmaji in his Brahma Samhita, he uses the word nava yauvanam cha, that Krishna is ever fresh, ever youthful. Every time you see Krishna, you will think that he has just now he became 16 years old. He looks like that all the time. Eternally he is like that. And every day he looks more beautiful. There are descriptions which comes in the Shastras and the books of Acharyas, that the gopis of Vrindavan, they just see Krishna and their love for Krishna increases. Seeing their love for Krishna increase, Krishna looks more beautiful now. Seeing Krishna's beauty more, their love for Krishna increases more, and this is eternally happening. We can't even imagine, we can't even perceive, because we have no idea what it is like, right? Somebody might think that even if I go to the spiritual world, what if I get bored? You will never get bored. Why you won't get bored? Because Krishna's beauty and Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's sweetness, and the love of the devotees for Krishna is ever increasing. It is always increasing. There is no limit to it. It is eternally increasing, right? There is no conception of time also there, like that. So we must understand this. So Krishna's Bhagavata, which consists of all these things, his yash, his beauty, and his renunciation, everything is increasing day by day. How can you understand something which is increasing day by day? Is it possible? It's not possible. And secondly, Krishna is like a vast ocean, and we are like small fishes. How can we understand the entire ocean? We cannot cross over. Krishna is a guna samudra. He is like, his transcendental qualities are like an ocean. There are ocean of qualities inside it. There is not even one quality that we can explore and say that I have completely understood him. Because the moment you understand, the next moment it is increasing, the guna is increasing, the quality is increasing. So it's impossible to understand Krishna. So Krishna very, Krishna is saying this, that mam tu veda na kashchana, there is nobody who knows me, I know everyone. The second thing we should understand is that, there is nothing that Krishna doesn't know about us. The very fact that we are, in this age of Kali, it means how degraded of an existence we can have. We don't have to accept that in public, that what our mind is like, what our past may be like. you know Millions and billions and trillions of birth have been passed by since anadi kala, and we are still in this material world. Baddha jiva, it means how much impurities there can be in our mind, and how much desires, how much lust, anger, greed, envy, and pride is there in our heart. That is the reason why we are entangled here. Paramatma knows everything. Krishna knows everything about you, more than you yourself know about you. Do we know today what we were like three lifetimes back? Sorry, maybe a lifetime back. Do we even remember what we were doing on this exact day, like a year back or a month back? But Krishna knows that, which means Krishna is ready to accept you with all the flaws, with all the impurities, and with all the ill desires that you have had and will have. Are you understanding how much karuna Krishna can have? We are such people that Krishna has tried his best through devotees. He had sent devotees to this world so that they will come and they will deliver the message of Krishna to you, that Krishna loves you, he's waiting for you with love. And we have rejected them, saying that हाँ आ जाते हैं किधर से भी उठ के, परेशान मत करो मुझे, दिखता नहीं है काम कर रहा हूँ, नहीं लेना है यार मुझे भगवत गीता, मुझे नहीं पढ़ना है ना। आ जाते हैं, जिंदगी में सक्सेसफुल हुए नहीं तो फिर पहन लिया ऐसा और निकल गए ये सब करते हुए। There are many people, it is very unfortunate when people use these kind of things. I have heard people saying that philosophy, this philosophy and all these things, it's for losers, people who have not become successful. They are so selfless that they have come to you. Krishna has sent them to you. Krishna has sent them to you with his message, that I miss you, come back. There's chance. You don't have to just get rot and suffer in this material existence. I'm ready to accept you with all your flaws. I'm ready to forget everything that you have done. Please come. I will remove you from the bondage of karma. I'm ready to do that. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. The only thing I'm asking you is leave everything and surrender. If you surrender, then sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Masucha, do not worry. I will take away all your sinful reactions. You don't bother about it. You come. Krishna is so kind. He knows everything about you. Whatever we have thought, whatever intentions we have had for others, how bad and crooked we could have been, everything Krishna knows. Moment by moment, incident by incident, thought by thought, Krishna knows everything. Krishna is saying that here. Vedaham samatitani. Whatever has happened, completely, I know that. Vartamanani charjuna. Whatever you are doing right now, I know. And even I know that what you are going to do. That is what Krishna is saying. I know every living entity. Every living entity. Can you even imagine a hog, a pig? It enjoys eating stool as if it is a very delicious thing to have, because that is the sense gratification that is written for them. They do that. You see, Krishna is so kind. Krishna is even present in the heart of a hog, thinking that some million lifetimes later maybe he'll turn back to me. Can you even imagine? Krishna is ready to go from species to species. What wrong has he done? Is he engaging in any karma? No, but still he is not ready to leave the jiva. He wants to be there. Still he has given you independence. Can you understand what I am trying to say? Krishna is so kind. He knows everything about you. And even after knowing everything, every intention of yours and everything, every sin that you have committed, every thought you had for somebody else, who is also a jiva, mind you, even after doing all these things, Krishna was ready to give his hand each and every time to pull you out of this material dreadful existence. And every time he has shown his hands to pull you out, you have kicked his hands, you have kicked his palm and say that I don't want this, I will enjoy here. And still Krishna loved you. Krishna loves you. Krishna can never hate someone. Surdam Sarva Bhuteshu. He is a friend of everyone, the best well wishing friend. In fact, the only friend you have is Krishna. Krishna is doing so much for you, but still we don't want to go to him. I don't understand. This is very unfortunate how people just neglect the message of Krishna and say that leave it. I'll enjoy here. Anyways, it's fate. But what I'm trying to say is Mam tu Vedana Kashchana, but still nobody knows Krishna. This karuna of Krishna, this karuna potency that we are speaking about, after knowing everything and he just leaves it all aside and he just wants to pick you out of this material existence. This karuna only, you think we don't even know like how much merciful Krishna is. We cannot just imagine how merciful Krishna is not, mind you, he is not like that for just one person. He is not just like for you, like that for you. He is like that for everyone else. And we know that what people are doing in this world. That's what. Okay. Some beautiful purports by Srila Prabhupada. You must read this. It's very beautiful, actually. इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन द्वन्द्वमोहेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप. इच्छाद्वेषसमुत्थेन, samutthena means arising from what? Ichha, dvesha, two things. Ichha or dvesh. Ichha means desire and dvesha means aversion, hate, like that. So, because of ichha, that is desire, and aversion or hate for somebody, that is dvesha, samutthena. Samutthena means something arises. What? Dvandva mohena bharata. So the ichha and dvesha, they are born or they are arisen inside a person because of what? Dvandva mohena. Dvandva means duality. This world is full of duality, right? This world is, duality means there is happiness, there is misery, you know, it's a boy, girl, happiness, misery, and you know every kind of you can say there, it's only made up of dualities. This world is full of dualities, raga, dvesha, attachment, sometimes hatred to someone. There is affection and ill feelings for someone. It is full of dvandva. So dvandva mohena, because of these dualities there is moha, illusion, right? So this world, हम ऐसा बहुत casually बोलते हैं मोह माया है करके. So Mahadevi का मोह यही है कि these dvandva, we are always on in this dvandva only. We either like someone or we dislike them, like that. We have hatred for them, or I like this, I don't like this. Whatever I like, you do it for me. Whatever I don't like, don't dare to do it, like that. So dvandva mohena, because of these dualities of this world, mohena, illusion of these dualities, bharata, what happens? Ichha dvesha samuthena. Ichha and dvesha, but desire and dvesha, that is hate, it arises in your heart. Sarva bhutani sammoham, and this dvandva moha, this duality, is this illusion due to duality, it is doing what? Sarva bhutani sammoham. This is putting every bhutani, every living entity under the spell of this illusion. Sarge yanti parantapa. Sarge means while taking birth. Sarga, there is Sarga, there is Visarga. If you take the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagavatam, the first is Sarga, then comes Visarga. Sarga means creation. Preliminary creation is known as Sarga. So Sarga here means taking birth. While taking birth, Yanti, they get what? This Sammoham, illusion, because of what? Hare Krishna, one second. Somebody. So yes, somebody, while he is taking birth in this world, so he is already falling inside this delusion. And what is this delusion about? Because of dvandva mohena, because of the dualities of this world, he is illusioned. And because of that, what is born? Ichha and dvesha. You either desire something or you hate something, like that. O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arisen from desire and hate, right? So because you desire something, okay, because you have ichha for something, or dvesha for something, or hatred for something, what arises in your mind? It is dvandva moha. It is the illusion of dualities, right? So why is this illusion? Why is somebody illusioned? He is illusioned because of ichha and dvesha inside him, because of desire for something, or dvesha, or because of hatred for something. Because of these two things, he is actually, some illusion arises in his heart. What illusion? Dvandva moha. That is illusion of dualities, and he is stuck inside it, right? And sarva bhutani sammoham, and this illusion, it is not that one person has this or as a sarva bhutani sammoham. Every living entity who takes birth in this world, he is born with this illusion. He is born into this delusion only. You see, O son of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion. Sarva bhutani sammoham sargeyanti, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. Can you understand how dangerous desire and hate is? In the Vedic literatures, it is stated that, you know there is only something, when the entire cosmic manifestation is destroyed by Mahavishnu, when he inhales inside, all the universes, they go inside him, right? It is all finished. The material creation is completely, vanquished. They get inside Mahavishnu. So at that point also, there is only one thing that is not destroyed, and that is the desire inside the heart of a living entity. A living entity, whatever desire he has, it is never gone at that point also. Can you understand? Can you think of like how dangerous it is? It is this desire and this hatred towards others. You say hatred is also born out of desire only. If you see, why do you hate someone? You don't hate someone for some simple reason. You hate someone because they are not acting in a particular way, or thinking in a particular way, or doing things in a particular way that you desire that they would do or they would act like. That is why you have dvesha for someone. So because of this attachment, or because of this desire, and because of this dvesha, because of this hatred, these are the two things which are putting you under illusion. And this is directly linked with the false ego. What is the ichha? The ichha is to enjoy this material world, and dvesha is hatred for something that is coming in between, when you are trying to lord it over and enjoy this material creation. You see, and ichha can be so strong that, it is not even destroyed when the entire cosmic manifestation is annihilated in the end. And then after that, when sarga happens again, when, Mahavishnu breathes out and all the universes come out again, all these living entities, because of those desires that they had previously, they take birth again with certain kinds of bodies in this creation. And it is continuing since anadikal, since beginningless time. You see, that's how powerful ichha is. And this desire itself, this desire and this hatred, is actually binding us in this world. Because of this desire and this hatred, what is happening? Krishna is saying that you are put under an illusion. Illusion is arising inside you. And what is that illusion? Dvandva moha, the illusion of dualities. You see, we always think in terms of duality, right? Like, this is good for me, this is bad for me. I have to do this because I want this. Else I will do like this. है ना, लोग ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि I don't want to become poor, so I want to become rich. I am like working hard because I want to become rich. Because if I don't become rich, I'll remain poor. So everybody is in this dvandva moha, and this dvandva moha is putting you under illusion. This is the root cause of illusion acting upon you. Because what is the illusion? It is this duality, this world of duality. There is no absoluteness in this world. It is all comparative, and it is all duality. There is not one thing, right? Like, for example, in the spiritual world, there is only ananda. There is no distress. There is no concept of distress there, right? You are in eternally in association of Radha and Krishna. You are happy. You have a blissful life because you are Satchitananda Vigraha. But this world is not like that. This world, when we become happy in this world, we are always under this, anxiety that some kind of distress is going to come, like that. right? We have always been taught like this, and our you know that very anxiety is also suffering only in a way. When we want something, we hanker for it. When we hanker for it and we get that, we are having desire. When we get it, after that we have this anxiety that I might lose it sometime, right? That itself is suffering. So you see, happiness and suffering, they are coming, parallel. They are going and going and going in everyone's life. It is happening like that only. But in fact, when we realize that you know there is more suffering in this world than happiness, that is when you are really enlightened. I'll tell you why. Many times in this world, we we mistakenly think that some feeling is happiness, but actually it is not happiness, but it is just absence of misery. Both are different things. You see, sometimes we are not suffering and we think that we are happy. It is not actually happiness, but it is actually absence of misery. You see, and sometimes we are genuinely happy, some happiness we have, like that. So we take this absence of misery also as happiness only. That's why we think that happiness and misery are like 50-50. But actually misery is more than happiness, if you take this world. Because in some part in Srimad Bhagavatam, somewhere it was written that actually my Shiksha Guru was telling this one time, that actually you travel from misery to misery in this world, and in between there are some feelings of happiness, like that. So my his Shiksha Guru was telling him this particular section of Bhagavatam, and my Shiksha Guru, he told that, Prabhu, can't we interpret it other way around? Like how? Because there is happiness in between, na? So it can be interpreted like we are going from happiness to happiness, and in between there is some misery, na? You can say like that also, na, karke. So you know uh, like when we think that, हाँ वो तो सही है, ऐसे भी तो कर सकते हैं ना, ऐसे भी तो बोल सकते हैं. Then why is Srimad Bhagavatam telling like this? It is because the misery is more and the happiness is very less. It is just that you just don't get out of the clutches of Maya, you don't get out of the clutches of illusion, and you always have the hope that in the very next endeavor I will be happy. For that sake, small tokens of happiness is given, sometimes as happiness, as pleasure, or sometimes as absence of distress. But it is given to you so that you don't get out of the loop, actually. Just like it is a very common saying in the corporate world that in every 30 days a little motivation is given to you as salary, so that you can do overtime and help the company to earn more money, right? Similarly, in this world also, we we see that some people are not accepting only that they are suffering. Why? Because they have that hope, in the very next endeavor I am going to become happy forever. But it doesn't happen that way, and we are actually stuck in this. And why we are stuck in this? It is because of ichha and dvesha, both the things acting. We have either ichha or dvesha, which is actually arising. It is giving birth to dvandva moha, which is actually giving birth to this illusion of duality. And because of this illusion of duality, every living entity is born into illusion in this world. That is what Krishna is saying here. It is very, it is a very deep discussion, actually, this particular shloka of Bhagavad Gita, because there are a lot of aspects to this. If you take Ichha and Dvesha itself, there are a lot of aspect to it, and it is a matter of realization, actually, when we, just sit down and think of this shloka, and, we just go through our daily life also, we'll understand that how much we are living inside illusion if this is the standard. Our entire life, our entire day is actually, it is running on ichha and dvesha only. If you see, either you like something and you do that thing, or you don't like something and you don't do, right? Our entire day is going like this, and because of which we are delusioned. And out of that day, for some time, we withdraw ourselves from that, and we do chanting or do some service or read Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. that happens. And only at that moment we are actually out of, this illusion. And we have to make sure that we build our consciousness to such an extent that, we stay away from this illusion all the time. Because this icha and dvesha, they both are connected to your false ego. This is connected to your ego, right? Because it is I that is prominent there. I like this, I hate this. So this illusion, why you are trapped inside this, is because it is directly connected to your false ego. And you cannot just tap it, because you think that it is you. Like that, you identify yourself with this. I am so and so, I like so and so, I hate so and so. So it becomes even more difficult, because it is actually related to your ego only. How can you get out of this illusion? Is by understanding what is your real constitutional position as a soul, as a spirit soul. When you understand that I am not this body, I am not this mind, and now I am not this intellect, I am not this ego also, I am not all these designations that my family and all the friends around me, all the people I know around me, all the people who work with me, all the people who know me, basically, they have given me some designations. All these designations, they are not me. I am spirit soul who is eternally servant of Krishna. And when we have this consciousness, we can easily tap that all the desires that is arising in our mind. Okay, this is Icha, this is Dvesha. And at once we are separated from that Dvandva moha, from that illusion which is arising from Icha and Dvesha. We can separate ourselves from that. But to have this consciousness, it's not easy. For that, we need a prolonged period of practice. We should do sadhana, then only we can have that state. For that, three things. In mind, for the mind, you have to do chanting so that you can purify yourself. Cheto darpanam arjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam. Anandambudhi vardhanam pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. By doing Shri Krishna Sankirtana, by doing, japa, cheto darpanam arjanam happens. Your mind becomes purified by that. By offenselessly chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Each and every syllable, you utter it and you hear it with a submissive mode. At that point, what will happen? Your mind will be purified. With a purified mind, you can see the truth. For the intellect, you read the Shastras, you read Bhagavad Gita, you read Bhagavatam, because that will sharpen your intellect in this endeavor of controlling the mind and understanding and seeing things very clearly. You will have a Shastra Chakshu, you will see through the eyes of the scriptures. Then, through personal service to a Varishta Vaishnava, to Krishna, to Srimati Radharani, Shugarang Mahaprabhu. So, what you can do is, actually, you can tap your ego. Because when you are engaging in service of the Lord, when you are engaging in service of Vaishnavas, you are engaging in your real constitutional position as a soul. That is what you are supposed to do. That's what you are doing now. You are actually away from your all your false designations at that point. But for that also you need consciousness, right? Consciousness is the key. You should not be doing it for some personal benefit, like fame or name and things like that. You should be doing it for the satisfaction of Lord. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Rupa Goswami says in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu that, for the pleasure of the senses, of the Lord of the senses, that is Krishna, when we do something, that is bhakti. And everything else that we do apart from that is bhukti, because we are doing it for our senses. So to the idea to enjoy our own senses will bind us, because it is out of ichha and dvesha. It is going to put you under illusion. But at the same time, when you get out of that zone and think of Krishna and render service unto him, it is under your real ego. It is not for your ichha, not for your dvesha. You are already on the platform of spirit there. That's why we say that bhakti doesn't even wait for the moment that you become enlightened, that you are not the spirit soul, for the realization. It already acts on the level of spirit. It is the only process, only path that is like that. That is the glory of bhakti. You see? So we should understand that we have to somehow or other get out of this illusion, and for that, three things: chanting the holy names, rendering service, and reading Shastras scrutinizingly. This will help to get out of all these problems which is arising out of Ichcha and Dvesha. You should always understand. The only Ichcha that we have is that Krishna should be pleased. The only Dvesha that we have is something that is taking us away from Krishna. The same Ichcha and Dvesha, when is directed towards the supreme goal of our life, that is attaining Krishna Prema, it will take you closer to Krishna. Right? When you do it for yourself, you will be bound. And Krishna is saying that Sarva Bhutani Sammoham Sarge Yanti Parantapa. When you are taking birth, at that moment itself, you are born into this illusion. Can you understand? It is not that you are born with a clear head and you are detached, and after that, by your own nature, you are. No, you are born into this illusion. That's what Krishna is saying. Let's see. Hare Krishna. ते येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वन्द्वमोहनिर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां दृढव्रतः. Now Krishna is saying, how can you get out of this? Krishna is only saying here. See, yesham tva antagatam papam. Yesham, for those who antagatam. Antagatam means to completely destroy, to completely eradicate. Okay. So yeshantva antagatam papam. So sin. For somebody who sins, whose sinful propensity and whose sinful sins that he has acquired throughout his life, he has already antagatam. It's already eradicated. Okay. Jananam punya karmanam. How? Of those persons, jananam punya karmanam, by pious previous activities. Okay. Te dvandva moha nirmukta. They, those people, they, whom it's mentioned before. So, yesham jananam. So, those people who are mentioned before, they, dvandva moha nirmukta. So, those people are actually nirmukta. They are freed from what? Dvandva moha that we discussed before. Right? The illusion of dualities. Bhajante mam dridhavrata. And those people, what do? Bhajante mam. They do devotional service unto me, dridhavrata. Dridhavrata means with like super determination, with hardcore determination. Dridhavrata. They you know engage in devotional service to me. Persons who have acted piously in previous life and in this life, and whose sinful activities are completely eradicated and freed from the dualities of illusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So it is very important to understand. So who are those people who are actually freed from the delusion? Those people whose entire papa is antagata, whose entire papa sin is eradicated. And how do that get eradicated? By acting in devotional service, that get eradicated. Krishna is saying that they should be like, they have committed, they have done pious activities in the previous life, even in this life they are doing, and all the papam, all the sins of theirs are eradicated. They are actually freed from the dvandva moha. And what do? They do bhakti of mine with dridhavrata, with determination. That is what it is. Persons who have acted piously in previous life, sorry, persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So it is very important that we must engage ourselves in the service of the Supreme Lord. It's a very beautiful purport you see here. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that if one actually wants to be liberated, he must render service to the devotees. Mahat sevam dwaramahur vimuktehe. But one who associates with materialistic people is on the path leading to the darkest region of existence. Tamodwaram yoshitam sangisangam. All the devotees of the Lord traverse this earth just to recover the conditioned souls from their delusion. The impersonalists do not know that forgetting their constitutional position as subordinate to the Supreme Lord is the greatest violation of God's law. Unless one is reinstated in his own constitutional position, it is not possible to understand the Supreme Personality or to be fully engaged in his transcendental loving service with determination. See, Krishna again and again, time and again, he is, you know, hammering on this fact that, bhakti is the ultimate, or bhakti is what pleases his heart the most. See, जरामरणमोक्षाय माम् आश्रित्य यतन्ति ये ते ब्रह्म तद्विदुः कृत्स्नम् अध्यात्मं कर्म चाखिलम्. Jara Marana Mokshaya. Jara means old age and Marana means death. Jara Marana Mokshaya. Moksha or liberation, for the purpose of liberation, Jara from old age and Marana from death. Mam Ashritya Yatantiye. Mam Ashritya, taking shelter of me. Mam Ashritya Yatantiye, somebody who is endeavoring for this. Te Brahmatat Viduhu Kritsnam. Te, such person, Brahmatat Viduhu Kritsnam. Those are people who actually know Brahman, who actually know the spiritual nature. Adhyatmam Karma Chakhilam. Adhyatma means transcendental, karma means activities. Cha Akhilam, entirely. You see, intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. You see, this is why I told you that, taking ashraya of Krishna, doing bhakti to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are already on the level of Brahman. You are already on the level of your spiritual nature. So, those people who actually take shelter of Krishna, even for the sake of what? Jara Marana Mokshaya, to get liberation from Jara and Marana, from old age and death. Even for that sake, if somebody is, taking ashraya of Krishna and endeavoring for doing bhakti, they already know Brahman. They already are in the stage of Brahman realization. Adhyatmam karma chakilam. Why? Because they already know the transcendental activities. Transcendental activities means the activities which are beyond this realm of material existence. Adhyatma, like that. Intelligent person who are endeavoring from liberation from liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. See, it is very important here to understand who are Brahman realized already. Those people who have already took ashraya of Krishna. That is what Krishna is saying here. And the second thing, the hope is that if you want to get out of Jara and Marana, if you want moksha from Jara and Marana, that is from old age and death, okay, what should you do? You should take surrender. You should surrender your life unto Krishna and do devotional service. That's how you get out. Krishna is not mentioning here that, ashritya anya devata or anything. He is not saying that even if you take ashraya of anya devata or do bhakti of anyone and everyone or do anything and everything, you can just get moksha from Jara and Marana. No, Krishna is very clear here. Mam ashritya. Mam means he is saying me. You have to take refuge in me. Somebody who has taken refuge in me for the sake of getting moksha from Jara and Marana. They are already on the platform of Brahman. Right? and they already know the adhyatma karma or something which transcendental activities that are happening. So Krishna is simultaneously making this point, first of all making this point of you have to you have to surrender unto him and do bhakti. That is how you get out of this cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. And at the same time, he is saying the second thing, that somebody who has surrendered his life unto me, he already knows Brahman, because he already knows all the transcendental activities. He knows everything completely. Cha akhilam. The word is used, akhilam. Everything he knows. Entirely he knows. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman, because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Like that. So we all, like somebody who is endeavoring to get out of the clutches of this material existence, and somehow or other get out of Maya. This is how you can get out of Maya, right? साधिभूतादिदैवं मां साधियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसः. So those people whom he has mentioned before, 28 se leke he is mentioning some people now who are rendering devotional service unto him, what happens to them. So for those people he is saying that they are those people prayana kale. Prayana kale means at the time of death. Okay, prayana kale, when the soul is ready for a prayana, he is ready to get out of this body and go to other. Prayana kale pi cha mam, those people, they think of me. Yukta chetasaha, their mind always engaged in me, like that. So sa adi bhuta adi daivam mam, sa adi yajnam cha ye viduhu. So he is saying that Adi Bhutam, I am the governing principle of the material manifestation. I am the person who looks after the man. मतलब ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो भगवान के सैंक्शन के बिना यहाँ हो सकता है. He is that personality who is Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta. Adhibhuta means somebody who is like, he's like a government. He is the person who is looking after all these things of this material manifestation also. Adidaivam. Adidaivam means he is the governing body of all the demigods, all the Daivam, Devatas. Mam. He's saying that I am that. So, what is Krishna saying? I am Adibhutam. I am the person who is looking after all these material manifestations. I am the head. Adidaivam. I am the person who is the head, who is the governing principle for all the Devatas, all the demigods. Sa Adi Yajnam, and I am that personality who governs all the sacrifices. Yajnam, whatever yajna you do, it is for the sake of Vishnu. I am the person who does that. Chaye Viduhu, and somebody who, and he knows this. That person about whom we were talking before, who is rendering devotional service unto him, he already knows this. That Krishna is only Adibhuta, Krishna is only Adideva, and Krishna is only Adi Yajna. He knows that personality. And Prayana Kalepi, when he is about to die, he is about to leave his body, at that time also, he Viduhu Yukta Chetasaha. He knows all these things and he engages his mind. See, those in full consciousness of me, who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death. See, even at the time of death is very important. Why even at the time of death is important? Because the very purpose of human form of life is ante narayana smriti, to remember Narayana, to remember Krishna at the time of death. Because if you remember Krishna at the time of death and call out to him, you don't have to come back to the womb of another mother again. You will just get out of this material clutch. So Krishna is saying here that somebody who knows me, that I am Adibhuta, Adidaiva, and Adi Yajna, is that person who is engaged in devotional service. So he knows me like that. And even at the time of death, when it is very difficult to remember anything, when it is very difficult to, call out to Krishna, because at the time of death you are so anxious, you think you cannot just remember of anything consciously. Even at that time also, prayana kale api, even at that time, even at prayana kala, okay, that personality who knows these things, who understands and realizes me to be all these things, he knows me and he remembers me at that time. Yukta chetasa, in their mind. See, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, at the time of death. It's very important. Yeah, okay. So those people who know me, yeah. And who are the people who know Krishna? Like, who know Krishna to be all these things are those people who are engaged in devotional service, because only through devotional service can somebody know Krishna. Okay. So here ends the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It's a very beautiful chapter actually. It took a bit long to complete this chapter. Yeah. So Krishna says in this chapter that towards the end, in the 29th verse, you can see that the person who renders service unto Krishna and who has surrendered his life, he already knows Brahman. He already knows all the transcendental activities. And here he is saying that somebody who knows me as Adibhuta and Adideva and Adiyajnaha, he even knows me at the time of death. Te vidur yukta chetasam. Thank you so much. So we have completed seventh chapter. We will start from each chapter from the next session onwards. And if you have any questions or anything, you may unmute yourself and ask. Hare Krishna. So our supreme goal of life is to somehow or other love Krishna, and for the sake of loving Krishna, we are trying to understand Him by His own words in the Bhagavad Gita. Like that. So in the next chapter, we will see that in the last verse, you have seen that towards the end, Krishna has spoke about karma, adhyatma, adhibhuta, adhideva, adhiyajna, all these things. So in the next chapter, Arjun will start with his doubt from there only, that what is adideva, what is adibhuta, what is karma, how, what is jiva, what is the relationship with all these things and all those things. That is the link actually. So Krishna will start with that doubt. Sorry, Arjuna will start with that doubt and Krishna will continue explaining in the eighth chapter. It's a bit technical. It's very nice. Yes, somebody had unmuted. Then please continue.
No question for you. Thank you so much for the question.
thank, thank you. Hare Krishna.
No question for you, Jay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one doubt, if may
Yes,
I
yes,
ask?
Prabhu, bolo na.
Prabhuji, at the time of death, like you said, there is immense pain and suffering. So, at that time, is it possible for Jiva to remember Krishna, or like, because the body and the mind would have been weakened by the suffering?
Yes, yes, Prabhu.
So, how is it possible to remember Krishna at that time of death?
It is extreme, very difficult, Prabhu, to understand, to just remember Krishna at that point. But if we have a prolonged practice, throughout life, somehow or other we have developed that taste for Krishna. See, there are two answers to this actually. If you take from a perfectional point of view, if you have attained love for Godhead, then it is very easy for you to remember Krishna at the time of death, because you have chanted the holy names of Krishna for throughout your life. The holy name has appeared before you with all the potency of Krishna, and you are in love with Krishna. At that point, you are immensely always feeling separation from Krishna, and at the time of death also it is not different. For you, death becomes it just becomes a cakewalk, because you are already in love with Krishna. You are feeling experience, separation from him, and you are actually waiting very eagerly that when will I meet my Lord face to face. So you are already preparing yourself for death. So that is the idea. So even if we are doing sadhana right now, we must be actually preparing ourselves for the death. By the time I die, I must be attached to Krishna so much that that pain and suffering that the mind and body is going to have at that point of time should seem to be a blessing, that yes, finally I can get out of this body and I can meet my Lord. So and when we have that confirmation, so there are many souls who leave their body like that. And there is second thing, some people may ask that, you might be in extreme conditions, then what will you do if you are not under the position only to remember Krishna? So Krishna assures that even if a devotee is unable to remember me because of his extreme situation at the time of death, because of old age or disease or whatever, I remember him and take him back, like that. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says this. So it's an assurance that even if the devotee is unable, but he has led a life which was such that, he was in love with the Lord, and towards the end, because of some conditions, he was unable to remember Krishna. No worries, Krishna will remember you and he will take you back. So that is the thing. So if we want to uh, see, there is a beautiful class I heard many time, like a lot of time back, so maybe 2 3 years back. It was explaining this concept only for like 2 hours or something, like uh, death should be, we see death as a very painful thing and something which we want to avoid in our life. But the pure devotees of the Lord, the devotees of the Lord, they see death as an opportunity to somehow or other reunite with Krishna. So if we can, uh, sincerely pray to Krishna and do our sadhana in such a way that we can uplift ourselves to that level, that, our consciousness is no more, dwelling within this body. Whatever is happening with this body is happening with this body, but our consciousness is always at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. If that is possible, then, even at the time of death, is it's very easy. It is, it's with a hope. And even if we cannot maintain our material consciousness at that point of time, because of our body not allowing, our mind not allowing, because of those extreme situations, no worries, Krishna is remembering us in Goloka Vrindavan and he'll take us back, like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.